Don't forget tiger feet. So the question comes up a lot, why the tongue on the roof of the mouth? What's the purpose of that? So the conception vessel starts in between the anus and the vagina, or the testicles and the anus. And that energy comes up and it ends right here. The governing vessel starts on the tip of the coccyx bone and comes up the back and ends right here. So bottom lip, upper lip. So the tongue is rooted to the bottom of the mouth. And when you touch your tongue to the roof of your mouth, you can make a complete energy circuit. So while we're ping-ponging the energy from the center of this palm to this palm, inhale, exhale, we're making an energy circuit this way, while the tip of the tongue is completing an energy circuit from the governing vessel to the conception vessel. Now, it's an interesting note that yesterday or the day before I was talking about breathing and how the sound comes from your vocal cords and that the diaphragm pushes the air out of the lungs past the vocal cords. But there's another correlation, because if the conception vessel comes here, the governing vessel ends here, and the tongue is the connection between the two reservoirs, and it is through our mouth that we speak, and the heart is expressed through the voice. And when your voice is strong and clear, I can listen to you on the telephone and tell you you've got a good heart or you have a strong heart. However, if you're talking breathlessness and your voice is kind of watery, I can tell that you do have a heart issue. So that is why I'm encouraging you to sing and to speak, because that will actually strengthen your heart. I had a patient and I taught him how to play the flute because he was Qi deficient. And after about 4 months of playing the flute, he says, I can't believe how much energy I have. Because he was concentrating on the out breath, and the harmonics of the flute was rewiring his brain. So Qigong will save your life. Feet together. Now, exercise number 12 is for your immune system. And we call that Yin Wei Mo, Yang Wei Mo. Wei means defensive energy. So your immune system, according to Western medicine, circulates on the outside of the body during the daytime, and at night it retreats to the core to protect the core energy. In Chinese medicine, it circulates 25 times in 12 hours, and at night it circulates 25 times at night. So how we're going to activate this? Back leg is straight, front leg is bent. This is called warrior pose. Okay, so the back arm is parallel to the back leg. You're going to go over the head, in front of the elbow to the armpit. You're going to make fists. Now you're going to go on this heel and you're going to pivot. Now this hand is going to go straight down, this hand is going to go straight up. Now, you're going to open the fists, and the other heel is going to pivot, and then you're going to go, and you're going to open up your arms, and now this leg is going to push you forward. And now over the head, in front of the elbow to the armpit. Make fists. Pivot. Down, up, pivot, open the fists. Now this is the most difficult of all the 14 exercises. This is really, really difficult. And I usually teach it in pieces, but since we've been doing it for so long, I figure you've gotten all the pieces. Fists, pivot, down, up, pivot on the heel, open the palms, and this leg pushes you forward. Do this one 12 times. Now, when we do the 14, there's lots of numbers, and there's lots of memorization of movements, and memorization of how many times you do this, how many times you do that. Now, we're doing this all 14 in a sequence. Once you become certified as an instructor, you are going to prescribe 2 or 3 different exercises for the person you are helping. And therefore, the Qigong 14 exercises become a diagnostic. The movement reveals the restriction. So if you can't do a particular exercise, I will notice it. If there's a problem with your shoulders or your hips or your knees, I'll notice it. And that will give me a clue as how to help you move past your limitations. Because the point of Qigong is to get you outside the box. Feet together. Now, the 9 complete breaths, the purpose is to slow your heart rate and bring you back down to 0 before we go into the next exercise. Now, exercise 13 is called the belt channel. Now, all of the exercises go straight up and down, except for Yin Chao Mo and Yang Chao Mo, except for those which go across. And of course, Yin Wei Mo, Yang Wei Mo go side to side. But the belt channel starts on the hip bone, goes down to the groin. Well, so when we do the beauty waist, where you drop the hip and then lift, drop, lift, this is called beauty waist. And Master Lee used to do this 600 times. Okay, look at my feet. Look at my feet. They're wider than my shoulders. Okay. So this is how we get the belt channel when we do the beauty feet. But in this particular exercise, we're going to do 8 small hip circles. So, oh, there you go. You got that. And then reverse. Come on, DJ Kitty, show them how it's really done.
Check.
And now 8 big circles. And obviously, most Americans sit too much, and so you need to do this every hour. So get out your Apple Watch, put a little reminder on your phone, and every hour do the 8 circles. Now, we do the bump 16 times. So I don't know how many people remember the dance called the bump. So bump, 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 bump. We do that 16 times. No, your feet are not moving, just your hips. Just your hips. And this is for people, again, who sit too much. Okay? So 8 small and 8 reverse, 8 big and reverse, and then 16 bumps. That couldn't take more than 30, 40 seconds. And if you do that every hour, you will prevent the collection of stagnant chi.
Okay.
All right.
For our YouTube friends, if you'd like to join the Blue Dragon tribe, text 66866 and message the